Uh-oh, it looks like Gen Z is busy breaking work stigmas again. Time to make an article about it. Gen Z wants to know what their coworkers earn, so they're being more transparent about pay and shunning employers who hide salaries. Now, for the longest time, talking about what you get paid has been a taboo, but no one has really asked the reasons why. Companies just tell you it's not good to do that. People tell you don't share what you make, all that, but it actually benefits the company way more than it does employees when you don't talk about what you earn. In this article here, it says they did a poll of 1,850 anonymous employees worldwide, and 31% of them discuss their salary openly, and 37% have rules against discussing pay. Now, here in the United States, you can't prevent employees from talking about what they make. I'm not sure why this Fortune article doesn't mention that at all, but they just carry on with, even when it's not allowed by their bosses to talk about pay, they still do. Maybe in other countries you can't do that, but here in the United States, bosses are not allowed to not allow you to talk about what you get paid. Now, when I go to the study itself, you can see what they found was more than half have learned a coworker earns more for the same role, and most were upset. Okay, so I think we figured out why people talk about what they get paid. Because I know I've had jobs where I just got hired and I was making a certain amount, and then I told someone else who was way more senior than me, many years at the company, and they were getting paid almost the same as me. And so they went to go tell the boss, and the boss didn't like that, but it's not illegal to do that. In fact, I just figured the company would have done the right thing and gave more money to that person over time or whatever, but they didn't. And that upsets a lot of companies. I mean, the truth is you get paid on what you can negotiate, and some people just negotiate better, or they're friends with the company or the people at the company. And the truth is companies just don't want to have to sit and explain how someone finessed more money and you didn't. As you can see from the NLRB.gov here, if you're an employee covered by the act, and most of you are, you may discuss wages in face-to-face conversations over the phone and in written messages. Policies that specifically prohibit the discussion of wages are unlawful, as are policies that chill employees from discussing their wages. So, policies that outright prevent it and that try and threaten you, try and prevent you with other consequences that you might receive. But they're not allowed to do that. In fact, you can make a lot of money from your company if they're doing that. Might have to wait a second for the board shutdown to finish and then come back, but they're not allowed to do that. The only thing that lets them get away with this is that this is a worldwide poll. However, I still think it's important for the US audience to know that they can't do that to you. I'm not saying that you should have to tell people your salary, but if you want to, sure, you can share. I mean, I just ChatGPT'd a whole bunch of reasons why companies don't want you to talk about pay. Right, so the first one is hiding pay inequality. If people compare salaries, it becomes obvious when someone who has been around longer is paid the same or less. They control the bargaining power when employees don't know what other people earn. They have less leverage in making demands. Salary transparency at work leads to more frequent renegotiation at work, salary increase demands, or turnover. Companies want flexibility to offer different pay for different candidates based on negotiation. And if that salary info is widely known, then flexibility is constrained. And then you have the favoritism aspects of it, where transparent pay might force companies to justify pay differences in terms of performance, tenure, role, and scope, which invites more scrutiny and possibly dissatisfaction. Companies just don't want to have to deal with all that. Please stop talking about what you get paid. It's competitive. Right? Well, if it's so competitive, then how come you don't want us talking about it? And the longer that companies can manage to keep people from talking about what they make, the longer the company has before they have to address any of the pay disparagement issues. But leave it to Gen Z and young people to go, hey, what do you make? You've been here a year longer and you're only getting paid that? Now, if we jump back to the study here, have you ever discussed salary with coworkers? Yes, openly at my work. I mean, if you want to, people don't want to, that's good too. No, it's not allowed at my work. I'm sorry, but for most places, it's allowed at work. Your company just says it is. Down here, yes, even though it's not allowed at my work, it is allowed at your work. And then, no, but I wish I did talk about it. Gen Z also seem far more willing to break unwritten rules. 18% say they've talked salary even when it wasn't technically allowed. How is it not technically allowed? According to the NLRB, it is very much technically allowed. Only 8% of respondents feel annoyed when salaries are discussed. Why? Just don't engage. And a tiny 4% admit to jealousy. When you look at the list of 15 different things here from ChatGPT, you can be sure this is only the tip of the iceberg when it comes to reasons they would prefer to keep your wage hush-hush. Like I said before, if the salary and pay is so competitive, why can't they talk about it? But what do you think? Do you talk about your pay at work if you want to? Does your company care? Let me know down in the comments below. Good job, Gen Z. Keep shaking things up for those older workers who refuse to do things differently. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe to see me call out more corporate nonsense like this, and if you have anything you'd like me to showcase on the channel, you can email me, Instagram, Discord, however you'd like to do it. The links for all of that are down below. But having said all that, I hope everyone is doing really well, and I'll see you in the next one.